speaking of the NWA and kind of more of on our local side of things here, Zicky Dice announced, I guess, on his Twitch. He has like a new Twitch channel, right? Zicky Dice TV.
I hear he's outlandish.
The NWA television champion, Zicky Dice.
I know. Well, do we say former now?
Former now.
Is that the right way?
Yeah, that's what you got to say.
So, yeah, it was announced within the last day or so that, Zicky Dice asked for his release from the NWA. And in the process, so he announced that on his Twitch channel. And with that, he is going to relinquish the television championship, which is so heartbreaking to hear because I think all of us in the room, we can agree. We love Zicky Dice. Not to break kayfabe, he does live here in the Bay Area, down the South Bay, San Jose area. That's all I'll say.
My neighborhood.
Yeah, but so apparently NWA, they sent an email out to the roster. And at this point, because of the pandemic and the stuff with Dave Lagana, for anyone who doesn't want to be with NWA or affiliate with them anymore, they're more than welcome to get their release. And from one of the from the various websites I've been reading, Zicky Dice went ahead and asked for his release. And
his contract was only through the end of the year anyway.
Exactly. So. And the best part I thought was funny, I guess when other wrestling outlets emailed him and asked for a comment, he wrote back, outlandish. That's all he said. Like, they wouldn't, give an actual answer. So
live in the gimmick, brother.
Exactly. So I guess for you guys, just your thoughts on just one, that Zicky Dice is leaving the NWA and relinquishing the television title. Philip, as someone who has interviewed Zicky Dice before, your initial thoughts about Zicky stepping away from NWA?
Well, this is the first I've heard of it. He's a very talented guy, and I mean, this was really the height for him, winning the television title. I think all of us in here who have met him are incredibly proud of him, but I think he'll go on to greener pastures. I mean, like I said, he's a very talented guy, charismatic as all hell. He'll land on his feet.
That's the thing is, I would imagine someone like him at this point with the pandemic, and there's not a lot of work going on right now in pro wrestling.
There's 2 places to go.
And that's the thing. It's like he must have asked for, I'm just speculating. I haven't talked to him lately, but if I had to guess, someone like him would ask for his release unless he has something lined up already.
Yep.
I would think so. To ask for your release during a pandemic, unless he just wants to break free. And this is, like I said, speculating. I don't know. But if I had imagined being in his shoes right now, maybe he just wants
to draw your own conclusion.
Yeah, he just wants to have the freedom to go somewhere. He just wants to have that independence and just not be tied down to one promotion right now. So, Richard, I don't know about you, what you're thinking.
It's a tough call. Historically, if he does go to AEW, it's just another guy that they've stolen from the NWA. And Cabana, Starks. You could see that happen, though, with an open challenge from Cody.
Yeah.
Right? And he comes out.
He'll fight for another red title.
Yeah, he'll fight for another
TV equivalent title.
But at the same time, whenever NXT brings someone up to the main roster, they put someone new in their roster. Mm-hmm. And Zicky Dice was also trained by Seth Rollins.
Yes, in the Black and Brave school in Chicago.
He could go to either one, you could see. I would say it's more likely AEW, but at the same time, there's doubt. You never know.
Well, okay, honestly, so this is what I was thinking. I know him and Ricky Starks are tight. If you follow Zicky Dice on social media.
There's 7 videos.
But there's the last set of tapings that NWA did, I think it was beginning of this year, he was posting some Instagram stories of him and Ricky Starks were just hanging out, killing time during the day. So obviously they're buddies. Maybe Ricky Starks can be that gateway to let Zicky come to AEW. But
How about Ricky or Zicky?
God, that should be the new tag team. But here's my thing. It's like, I don't know if AEW can afford him or has the room for him, I should say. AEW already has a stacked roster now between Ricky Starks now, Brian Cage coming through now, as far as the new signees, FTR. I'm saying they've been signing a lot of people recently for their rosters. I don't know. Is there room for Zicky Dice?
I mean, he can do stuff on Dark.
That's the thing. It's like Dark has become a very valuable show for them, I think, as far as just giving their bottom half of the roster a place to shine.
I mean, he could challenge Cody for the TNT title whenever he's done with Hager, and then he could be in the crowd for a couple weeks and pop in and do stuff, so there's room.
It's like, okay, like
Zicky go to Impact?
And see, and thank you, Tommy. See, I think personally, he should go to Impact.
I think Impact would be the only safe place for him to go.
Because, okay, since Impact has let go of Tessa, Elgin, Joey Ryan, is it Jake Christ? Chris. I mean,
watch your mouth.
Jesus. But I'm just saying, so Impact has some room right now on their roster to fill.
I didn't even think about that. That's a good call, Tommy.
And they're on TV. They got the TV deal with Access TV. So I would think if
I think he'd fit right in.
I think he'd be a better fit there.
Where are they filming in Canada? Or are they still doing the Impact Zone?
I think they're filming in Canada.
I think Canada. I know they were doing stuff in Las Vegas. I mean, forgive me for my lack of Impact knowledge. I've been back on the train the last couple weeks only, so I'm still trying to learn. But I think Zicky would.
That is a good fit for him. You're right.
Big fish in that smaller pond, if that makes sense. I think he would do better in Impact. He can have, I think, a bigger impact, no pun intended.
Cross the line, Danny.
I'm full of it today now.
His impact will be outlandish.
Yeah.
He would.
I think he would be.
I see it on a T-shirt.
He would be better off. I mean, he could probably have more leeway in Impact than he probably would in the NWA.
And he's new for TV. Just because we've seen him on the NWA, where did you see him before?
Yeah.
You know? So Impact's a good next step.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'll have to hit him up. Maybe, Zicky, if you're listening right now, if you do listen to this.
Yeah, give us a shout out.
Or, hey, give us the exclusive interview. I would love that. Or
if you need a bump guy, I'm here.
No, I would love to talk to Zicky. I don't know. I'm sure for Zicky, I'm sure for him, since he's trying to build up his Twitch following, I'm sure any major news, he wants to save it for his Twitch channel. That's what I'm guessing, because he just announced that he got his release, or wants his release on his Twitch channel. So I'm sure for him, he's trying to build up his following there. So it'd be curious to see what Zicky Dice
his
next.
Platform.
Yeah, what's next for him? I unless he goes to Japan or something, dude.
No.
Zicky Dice in Japan, that's outlandish.
Goes to DDT.
Yes.
I could see him go to maybe All Japan.
Yeah,
or Noah.
That's a possibility.
So I know, even if just follow him on social media, I know he's teased like, hey, maybe I should move to another state or something, and I see him. So maybe, who knows? Maybe he has stuff in the works, and that's why you need to follow Zicky Dice on social media. Follow him on Twitch. Was it Zicky Dice TV, ZD TV? Yep. And see what he makes his next announcement of his next move. But yeah, no, from all of us here, we're all bummed to see that he's leaving NWA, because we're all big fans of NWA Power, and he's just such a great character on that show. He was
getting over.
Yeah, he just has that retro throwback look that was great for that show. So I'm curious.
Still
also,
got the question mark. We're good.
Yeah, well, but that's the thing. It's like, I'm curious how many people are going to stay with NWA. Like, how many are going to ask for their release, and how many are going to stay with them?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I want the NWA to stick around.
Well, if you look at it, though, Zicky Dice is not one of the first guys you think of. He's one of the more entertaining guys.
Yes.
But he's not a day one NWA
Correct.
Power guy.
Yeah.
Right.
As long as they've got Nick. Thunder Rosa, Eli Drake,
Storm,
Allison Kay, Marty Bell. Yeah. I think if you keep your core, you're still intact.
Yeah.
So, and that's a great group right there.
Yeah. And I would imagine, once they kind of get things figured out, like, I think there's a reshuffling of the hierarchy as far as management goes. I'm sure Billy Corgan's trying to figure out who's going to replace Dave Lagana now, and who can oversee the show and kind of, future tapings if they are able to come back.
Yeah.
What about David Marquez? What about him?
Yeah,
that's a good question.
He works there, and obviously he runs Championship Wrestling from Hollywood.
I think he'd be a great fit.
Maybe he gets a promotion. That'd be a great call.
Yeah.
That'd be good. No, I think that'd be great.
I would support
if he wants another job like that.
Yeah, I mean, he's a busy guy as is.
Oh, yeah.
So, respect to him for just the amount of stuff he does for the wrestling business.
But he does a bunch of stuff outside of the wrestling business, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Combat sports and television.
Yep.
But no, it'd be great. I mean, that'd be, if he's willing to take on the responsibilities, that'd be great. But I would love to see NWA Power come back as a weekly show. I mean, hopefully, maybe they can get a TV deal. I don't know how much they make off YouTube, revenue off that.
Yeah.
But I think NWA, I'm sure they would love to get a TV deal. Maybe work something out with DAZN, like MLW has done. I think DAZN
Network.
That's the rumor, that they were going to go to the WWE Network.
That's what they're aiming for.
Yeah. If not, there was a rumor about MLW. They wanted to go to Showtime.
Yeah.
Maybe they can go to Showtime.
There's options. And here's the thing. I know beforehand they had that work. They reestablished their working deal with Ring of Honor because Marty Scurll and Nick Aldis are tight friends. And since Nick Aldis, I know his interview with Chris Van Fleet earlier this year, he said pretty much it's like him and it was Lagana and Billy Corgan. The three of them were kind of the brainchilds behind NWA revival going on. So as long as Nick Aldis, maybe Nick Aldis, a la kind of like what, because Marty Scurll is now the head booker for Ring of Honor. So I can easily see maybe Nick Aldis kind of takes a.
I'm not concerned about the booking. I think it's more presenting it the way they presented it is the problem. Because if you're losing that aspect of it, then, you're going to hire someone and you're just say, do what Dave Lagana was doing. So someone new is going to bring in their own touches.
Yeah.
On how it's filmed and how it looks, which,
Right.
is what made them so unique is doing it Billy and Lagana's way. And, because I was following early on with the 10 Pounds of Gold series on YouTube. And they just made the 10 Pounds of Gold series into a show, which is great.
Yeah.
So, and maybe down the line, Lagana comes back at some point if they're still a thing and he's vindicated himself somehow. But,
Yeah.
Or bring in Court Bauer.
Yeah.
I'm sure his hands full with MLW. MLW is doing great things. I love MLW so much.
I think they're an underrated promotion.
Contra.
Yeah.
El Contra.
El Contra, yeah.
And the Von Erichs.
Dude, they're doing such great things. I can't stress enough how awesome MLW is. They're like what ECW was I think,
in the
for
90s.
For the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
MLW is for right now. That's the easiest way to
Got
describe
that
it.
ECW vibe.
Totally. But so moving forward, NWA, hopefully they'll figure things out and kind of reshuffle things. And hopefully their core stays around and they can kind of just get back off their feet and
they'll rebound.
Reestablish themselves with Ring of Honor, put on some great shows together. I think that's great that Marty and Nick Aldis are kind of helping fuse that partnership together. So we shall wait and see.